Hi there. So this video, it's a quick one really, about driving in rush hour traffic. So it's 8:15 in the morning and it's a nice day, so there should be no reason why the traffic's bad, but you can never tell. Now if you've been driving in normal day conditions and then you pass your driving test and all of a sudden you've got to drive to work, it's a bit of a shock to you. So what could be a 15-minute journey in the daytime will possibly take you possibly double, or at least 20-25 minutes to get to where you want to go. And I suppose what you've got to watch out for is more traffic, more people taking chances. Got to have your wits about you a bit, because people will take risks around you, so you've got to use them mirrors a lot more, use your observations ahead of you. So you're going through little estates, so you're going to get kids running to school with their mums or dads working late, and they're getting out of the house late. You're going to get people staying in bed extra 5 minutes, rushing to work, things like that. You're going to get possibly cars broken down in the morning, causing a havoc for everyone else. These are the sort of things you're going to come across, and you're possibly accidents where people are shunted because someone didn't go and the one's gone in the back of them. So you just got to be careful. So I'm coming out your state at the moment, a bit more people walking around, but as you get onto the main roads, it's going to get a little bit busier. And rush hour is a bit of a mystery. You know, why do they call it rush hour? Is it because people are rushing around? Well, possibly. Or is it because people are sat there doing nothing in the traffic? That's enough. So you could call it slow hour in a way. It takes you longer to get there. So you just got to be careful. Set off earlier at first, and that way you're not going to get stressed, because lots of people, they get stressed in rush hour because they're running behind and they're going to be late for work, or late for the meeting, or late to meet their friends for a coffee. So if you're driving in rush hour, expect a little bit more time added on. So if you're new to driving in it, just give yourself time. Expect people to kind of take chances, like I said. So I'm coming to a busy road now. Now it might seem quiet compared to where you live. I suppose that's the advantage of Milton Keynes, is there's lots of quiet roads, and all of a sudden it goes busy where you've got tailback of traffic. So ahead of me, I've got a bit of traffic ahead of me. It was starting to go slow, so it's a 40-mile-an-hour road, so I'm checking early and slowing down for the traffic. And this is a typical sort of rush hour traffic. You'll be going along quite nice, and all of a sudden you'll come to traffic, and you just sat there then for the next 3 or 4 minutes. And then eventually, when you get through the traffic lights or through the roundabout, it'll just pick up and you go fast again, and then you come to the next bit and it goes slow again. So you just got to take your time when you're in traffic lights, and not worry, and just expect to take longer. I mean, normally in the daytime I'll be straight down there to the traffic lights, and then I cross it within a 30 seconds to a minute. At this rate, it's going to take me a couple of minutes to get there, maybe longer, because it just turned to green. I can see them ahead of me, but they're not going to stand green between me and the time I get to the lights. They'll change it at least once more time. And they say the traffic at the moment, typical, you know, rush hour. Try not to get too close to a car in front of you. I'm sure you'd have heard the saying, the 3 T's, 2 tyres, the 2 back tyres and tarmac. So if you're if the back tyres of the car in front of you are disappearing under your windscreen, then you're too close to the car. So as I'm driving up to it now, I can just about see the tyres. They're about to disappear, so I'm slowing down, stopping. That's giving me about 3 or 4 foot gap between the car in front of me. Now, the reason why you want that gap is a couple of things. If you're sat in traffic like this, you're going to get loads of carbon monoxide being pumped out from the car behind you, and the car behind that one, and so on. If you're close to it, your fans are going to suck it all up. So all of a sudden, your car starts stinking of it. And that's not nice for you. You know, it's not nice to breathe in. It's not good for your health. So keep your little gap, and even though it's going to breathe in some of the fumes, it's not going to like it's not completely straight in there. There's a bit of air in there at the same time. And also there's an advantage there if you've got someone in front of you and the sun starts rolling backwards, they've got maybe half a second to react to that, and if you don't react to it, use your horn. Otherwise they're going to drive into you. But if you're close to them, then you're not giving them a chance to kind of stop. So keep your little gap. So same again, I'm still sat in traffic and I'm still waiting. And this is where if you set off late for work, that you start to get a little bit stressed, because you think, God, I'm going to be late. You start looking at the time. I should be halfway there by now. I've only just set off. I've only been going like less than half a mile, and I've been travelling now 5 minutes. So the lights change back again. See a couple of cars are maybe chancing it. That's what it's sometimes getting. So if you're waiting at traffic lights, and this is a good one, if you're waiting at traffic lights and they're on red in front of you, and you're at the front of the queue, and they start to go to amber, don't just shoot off straight away in busy traffic, because you might get the traffic on the side of you who's already on green, who's gushed to amber, who chances it on amber, who's a bit of a risk. And if you're jumping off on the amber and they're rushing through on the amber, there's a risk you're going to clip him. So even though it says red and you're about to pull off, I always just check to the traffic what's coming through, make sure there's no one chancing it, and that way you kind of limiting the risk there. Once we get through these lights, so the traffic will speed right back up again. And this is the thing, I mean, I've been sat in this one now for about a couple of minutes, and this is what you got to do: put a radio on, put your CD on, and just chill out and not worry about the fact that you're sat in traffic. Because people worry about, oh God, it's taking me longer to get to work. And then when you are moving fast, there's a lot of traffic around you. It is a lot more than what most people are used to. So you're going to get people possibly in the cars zooming past you on the right, possibly zooming past you on the left. It depends how cheeky they are. And taking risks around you and maybe not indicating, maybe cutting you up. And you've got to kind of be aware of that. So it won't be long now before the lights change. And then we're going to go across the roundabout and then carry on going. We're not going to carry on going forever and ever, because it'll probably bore you to death of the video, but I'm giving you an insight into rush hour traffic. So the light's changing and I'm ready to go. And I'm keeping my gap, because ahead of me the lights are just changing again. Now I'm watching for traffic on the right cutting up across, because they might try and shoot across. And all of a sudden we're back up to 40 mile an hour. Bombing along now. There's lots of traffic in the right lane who are speeding up. They might want to get in the left lane eventually. At the roundabout, I'm going to follow the road ahead, but I want to be in the left lane when I get there. So this bus lane's going to end. So I'm looking ahead all the time. What's going on? Red car's cutting in. The black car might do the same. I'm cutting across the left lane, and I'm just making sure it's nice and clear. I'm checking what's going on at the roundabout. The lights are only part-time, so I'll go right up to the giveaway point, and I'm waiting for the traffic. Lots of traffic around. And I come right across to my lane, because there's no room for error in rush hour. You've got to make sure you get the right lane. If you start drifting, someone's going to bump straight into you. So it's just keeping your wits about you, keeping that space. So if someone comes across into your lane, drop back a bit. Don't be right up the back, because if they hit the brake, you're going to go straight into them. Keep that 2 second gap. If it's raining, 4 seconds. If it's snowing, 10 times, isn't it? So even though it's a 70 mile an hour road, I'm quite happy cruising at 50 in the left lane, because I know ahead of me it's probably going to be a lot of traffic. As I can see, yeah, roundabout, a little bit of build up of traffic. I'm going to be going left. So I'm checking what's going on. I'm signalling left. Now, if you live where there's roundabouts, you're possibly going to get traffic sat on roundabouts in rush hour who are just being a bit cheeky. So you just got to be prepared for that. And you can see on ahead of me, opposite cars coming opposite direction, nice long tail back of traffic. They're all sat there. Now if they're going nose to bumper too close, they're going to get all that carbon monoxide sucked in. We're going to follow the road ahead at the roundabout. So at the moment the traffic's running nicely here, but you've got to watch out for the traffic on your right, because there could be anything coming round. So if you've got a tailback of traffic in the opposite direction, it's blocking your view of it, so you've got to be careful. I suppose when you're driving round to work, you'll know the best roads to drive on, the roads to avoid after a few times. But even all that can go to pot if someone has an accident, because all of a sudden that road that you go down, that's pretty clear in the mornings, it's suddenly got a massive tailback because there's been an accident on another road and everyone's going round. So even though it's 25 past 8 now, I'm running fairly smoothly, you know, it's running okay, it's nothing too tricky. But you can see there's lots of traffic around in other directions, so you start to know which ones to avoid. But if you're one of these people that you haven't got much choice and you have to sit in the busy traffic, then that's what you're going to have to do, unfortunately, and you're going to have to kind of expect to kind of go slow. So I'm coming to traffic ahead of me, so I'm checking what's happening and I'm slowing down. It's possibly because we're coming towards a school, or it could be that this road leads to a busy one, so there's a tailback of traffic. Could be a combination of both. So keeping your gap, slowing it down nice and early, and that way it's easier. And like I say, if you can kind of set off a little bit earlier in the mornings, then you're probably going to avoid some of the busy traffic. I'm not saying set off an hour early, but it's up to you what you want to do. But if you're kind of not giving yourself extra time to get to work, then you're going to get yourself all stressed, and it'll just stress you out every day. You won't enjoy the driving. And it's the same when you're driving at night time. You need to give yourself an extra bit of time. So when you leave work at say 5 or 6 or 7 at night, expect to take a little bit longer to get to work or to get home. So I'm sat in traffic now. I can see on my right there's loads of traffic trying to get out. Oh, there's only one actually. Someone that's parked up in silly places. But that traffic there, it's pulling out. It's taking a bit of a risk. It's sat in the middle for a second and then it's pulled in. Someone's let him in. So when it's like this, you're going to get people doing silly little risks. You know, unusual things that you'll come across. So we're just driving along here, and that's what you've got to do, just keep a gap. Now, one of the other things you've got to do is, because there's an entrance coming across us here, or an exit, try not to block the entrance for cars coming towards you. It's a good example here now. There's a car coming up here now, and I'm just holding back so that he can turn across me. Because if I drove forward and blocked that entrance for him, all what's going to happen is it's going to sit there in traffic. So I'll just sit back and wait, and let everyone go, because it's not much. It's not as if I need to rush forward, and you're helping people as well. See, I've let 2 or 3 cars go, and I've only travelled the length of probably 7 cars. But if you go forward and block that entrance for them, all they're going to do is sit in the traffic, build up traffic, and it's probably going to make it worse on a narrow road. So help each other out, and they'll come back to help you. It's like that karma thing people say to each other: help other people, then it comes back to help you. And it does work. At least I think it anyway. And just keep taking your time. So I'm sat in traffic, and this is what rush hour's like sometimes. You could be thinking, God, this is taking me forever to get to work here. And I'm travelling at 10 miles an hour. I'm not exactly going fast, so to some people it probably might sound like a boring thing to do, but it's just reality that if you live in a built-up area, or an area where there's lots of traffic, when it kicks in the morning rush hour, so rush hours can vary from place to place. Around Milton Keynes it's probably between 8 and 9. Most places it starts a lot earlier, maybe 7 o'clock in the morning, and in the evening probably between 5 and 6. So it is an hour around here. where some places it can be 2 or 3 hours rush hour. There's a place I lived up in Derbyshire, Gloucester, when I was a young lad. Rush hour starts at 6:30 there sometimes. It's crazy, it was. So I'm just trickling along, and this is what you got to keep saying to yourself. When you're in the rush hour traffic, you just take your time. There's no rush. And then when you've got the opportunity at the front, you obviously get on with it. You don't kind of pull out slowly at some of the roundabouts or junctions because the cars come around fast. So that side of it's a bit of a rush. Got to keep it safe. So yeah, we're approaching an area where there's a school and a leisure centre and a busy road, so you're going to get traffic. And all you got to do is just keep looking ahead of you every now and then, checking what's happening around you. So because there could be bicycles going past you on the left, there could be motorbikes going past you on the right, there could be cars going past you and just cutting into you, into that little gap you've left. You know, it depends how cheeky they are and what the area's like. But I suppose if you expect the worst, it's not such a big deal for you then. And like I say, just help people out. Just let them go. So hold back a little bit, they get the idea. Hold back again, let that other person go. Because to me, it's easier. You know, I've done it for a while now, so by just getting ahead of him, it's not going to cost me much time. So you keep your gap. It's easy then. So we're coming to a busy roundabout. So all of a sudden, I've been travelling on this one now for at least 5 minutes on this stretch of traffic. I'm travelling at about between 0 mile an hour and 10 mile an hour. And all of a sudden you come to a busy roundabout and it suddenly speeds up again. And this is what catches people out. It is rush hour traffic, so you've got to be your wits about you a little bit. You've got to be aware of the fact that you've got to get on with it when you pull out. You can't just trickle out. A lot of traffic around, so yeah, I've gone from being 10 mile an hour back up to 40 mile an hour. So that's rush hour in a nutshell. 1 minute you're going slow, next minute you're going fast, and lots of traffic around. It gives you an insight, hopefully, to what it's like. So try not to be afraid of rush hour. If you can drive, you'll be fine. Just make sure you give yourself space. Make sure you give yourself extra time. Try not to get too stressed. And just be aware of the fact that cars will do cheeky things around you. Cut up in front of you, change lanes. So if there's a lot of traffic next to you on your right lane on dual carriageway, expect one of them to cut in. So I hope you like the video. If you do, you know, give it a thumbs up. And if you're new to my channel, just click on that subscribe button. Just let everyone know that you like my channel. Okay, take care, safe driving, and we'll see you on the next video.